Hey y'all, it's Stacey with SouthernBite.com. Welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're gonna tackle one of those recipes that like everybody just needs in their arsenal. It's for my best ranch dressing. Now sure, you could run to the store and buy some pretty great ranch dressing, but when you wanna do something that's a little special, a little extra, you can make your homemade ranch dressing. Now, this recipe came about because my son Jack grew up loving ranch dressing. And he loved to order ranch dressing when we were at restaurants, but when you buy the bottle stuff, it just doesn't taste the same. So I set out to create a recipe that mimics that great restaurant-style ranch dressing. And I've got a secret ingredient that's gonna help with that flavor. To start, I've got 1 cup of mayonnaise. Now let's talk about mayonnaise for a second. You wanna make sure that you pick a mayonnaise that you like. You're gonna wanna opt for something that has more of a savory or tangy flavor. Something like Miracle Whip is probably not gonna be a great choice because of the sweetness in there. So you want something like a Hellman's, a Blue Plate, a Duke's Mayo that's got that tangy flavor because that's gonna be the base for our dressing. To this, I'm adding 1/2 cup of low-fat buttermilk. I say low-fat, but if you have regular full-fat buttermilk, it's gonna work just fine. I've got 1/2 teaspoon of dried chives. I've got 1/2 teaspoon of dried parsley, and I've got 1/2 teaspoon of dried dill. Now, I opt for dried herbs because they're easy to store, and the great thing about dried herbs is when they're dried, they kind of concentrate that flavor in those oils, so you get a lot out of it. If you wanted to swap those dried herbs for fresh herbs, think about it in a 3-to-1 ratio. So in this case, we're using 1/2 teaspoon of each of these. So if you wanted to use fresh, you'd probably need about 1.5 teaspoons of each of those dried herbs to make this dressing. I'm also adding 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and about 1/2 teaspoon of plain white vinegar. And then we're just gonna whisk this together. This is great as a salad dressing, it's great as a dip. If you wanted specifically to make it as a dip, you could swap some of that mayonnaise for some sour cream, maybe add a little extra mayonnaise to make it a little bit thicker. All we're doing is whisking this together. And now the thing that really makes this the restaurant style, that really gives it that super savory flavor that is most unique in those restaurant dressings, is a little MSG. Now, before you get upset about MSG, I will say this, you can absolutely leave it out. I think it's an important ingredient because it really amps up the flavor. And the thing about MSG is it occurs naturally in a ton of things like tomatoes and cheese and mushrooms. This MSG, you buy in the grocery store, it's made through a fermentation process. So again, it's a great way to add flavor to lots of dresses and sauces, but if it's something that you have a sensitivity to, you can absolutely leave it out. I'm adding about 1/2 teaspoon here. Whisk it together, pop it in the fridge, allow it to rest for about an hour to allow those flavors to develop. Give it a whisk, give it a stir, add a little salt and pepper if you need it, and it's ready to serve. Folks, you can find this easy recipe by heading over to the website at SouthernBite.com. We've got a special Simply Southern TV section right there on the homepage. Y'all enjoy.
Stacey says generally his ranch dressing will keep in the fridge for about 2 weeks. Just check the date on your buttermilk and it'll be good until then.
If you follow Stacey on Facebook or Instagram, he has posted a few behind-the-scenes videos of him preparing to shoot these cooking segments. They'll give you a better idea of the amount of work it takes to get them done.
It's just like being there, except you don't get to eat the dish when he's finished. That's our job.
That's right, and a very important job, I think. We appreciate you joining us for Simply Southern today. We hope you'll tune in again next week when we'll look back 200 years into Alabama's history when a special Revolutionary War hero visited.
And you'll meet an unusual doctor. She uses acupuncture to provide chiropractic care to horses. I'm Kevin Worthington.
And I'm Mary Wilson. We'll see you then.